Hi, my name is Rachel Salina, and this is my presentation about Tay-Sachs disease. This was created for Bentley University's class of Human Inheritance, NASA 319 for the fall 2017 semester. What is Tay-Sachs disease? It is a rare genetic disorder and lysosomal storage disease. It is caused by mutation in the HEX-A gene and is most commonly found in infants between ages 3 and 6 months. This disease slowly kills nerve cells that are found in the brain and spinal cord, leading to slow development and weak muscles. There's also a loss and lack of coordination of motor skills in muscle coordination or ataxia. Other symptoms include seizures, vision and hearing loss, intellectual disability, paralysis, delayed mental development, cherry red spot detection, and the child typically dies around age 5 due to pneumonia. So there's three different types of Tay-Sachs. The first is classic infantile Tay-Sachs. This is what was described before and is the most common form of Tay-Sachs. Juvenile Tay-Sachs occurs between ages 2 and 5, and the first signs include muscle coordination, clumsiness, and struggling with stairs. There's also slurred speech, trouble swallowing, and muscle cramps. They lose the ability to walk, eat on their own, communicate, and they also have seizures and respiratory infections like pneumonia. And the earlier the first signs are spotted, the faster the child will go through the disease. There's also late onset Tay-Sachs or LOTS. This is usually found in teenagers but can also be found in adults. And the first symptoms include clumsiness and weakness in legs. The adult patients usually realize that as children they were not athletic, had speech difficulties, or a stutter. Many say that they have symptoms like bipolar or psychotic episodes. They may need a cane or walker or a feeding tube due to different difficulties. They don't have a cherry red spot, and this type of Tay-Sachs is very rare. And these are just two pictures of people who have Tay-Sachs, and the right is someone who has LOTS. So how is it inherited? It is an autosomal recessive disease, meaning that you need two copies of each gene of the gene to be affected, meaning you need one copy from each parent. And this diagram just shows how the alleles are passed on from adult parents to offspring, and the red is an affected child. And the genotype and phenotype, so it has a genotypic ratio of 1 to 2 to 1, meaning that you have a 25% chance of having a normal child, a 50% chance of having a carrier child, and a 25% chance of having an affected child. This means that there's the 1 is the 2 big T's, the 2 is a big T little t, and the 1 is 2 little t's. The phenotype is a 3 to 1 ratio, meaning you have a 75% chance of having an unaffected child and a 25% chance of having an affected child. The biological pathways. So this is caused by mutation in the HEX-A gene, and this gene houses the instructions to create the enzyme beta-hexosaminidase A, and this enzyme is critical in the central nervous system and is supposed to break down the GM2 ganglioside lipids that build up in the brain and spinal cord. But because the HEX-A gene doesn't create this enzyme, it can't create a full enzyme because you need beta A and beta B to make the full enzyme. And so GM2 ganglioside builds up in the nerve cells of the brain and spinal cord, which leads to nerve cell decay. And this slide just shows how cells are affected in a healthy child versus in a Tay-Sachs child. And you can just see how the cell breaks down because of the ganglioside. So management and experimental treatments for Tay-Sachs. There is no cure, but symptoms can be managed through feeding tubes, massages, respiratory management, seizure management like medication and physical therapy. There's also family support and experimental treatments like ERT, SRT, and gene therapy. So the significance, there is a major significance in the Jewish community. Over the last 40 years, there has been a 90% decrease in the number of incidents of Tay-Sachs, and this is due to the amount of screenings before and after birth in synagogues, community centers, and therefore in normal medical practice. This has given confidence to carrier couples to have more children, since there is a 75% chance that they will have a normal child. And one early mass screening was actually held at a school in Waltham. And now you can do at-home screenings for over 200 diseases with J-Screen, and this is a preconception screening, and this is just a link to the article below. And there are different foundations for Tay-Sachs, like Cure Tay-Sachs Foundation, the CATS Foundation, and the NTSAD, which has headquarters in Brighton. And I don't have any personal significance with Tay-Sachs. I don't know anyone who has had it or any friends or family members who have had it. I just think that this is an interesting disease and I want to learn more about it. These are my different references. And this is the end. I really hope that you enjoyed my presentation and that you will go and help find a cure for Tay-Sachs and learn more about it. Thank you.